Hi guys, it's your girl Takima, aka the sexy lady. So tonight I wanted to do something a little bit different. Tonight is actually a night where I do my sexy enrichment calls, which I know you've probably seen on Facebook. You've probably seen me like every other Sunday or every couple of Sundays you see me post something about calling and wanting to be encouraged and wanting to be enriched. So I usually do the call with my sister, and tonight is actually my night to facilitate, but I'm doing it this way. It's different. Tonight is the last Sunday of the year, and I think that is so significant to what is about to happen in the new year. So it's all about being different, and I really wanted to encourage everyone for the new year to just step outside the box. Don't do business as usual. Don't do things as usual. Step outside of the box and do something different. That's what makes you you. Earlier today, I posted something about a message that I heard at Joel Osteen. He preached this morning, and he talked about getting over it. So that's pretty much the premise of what I wanted to talk about, is getting over it. So if you saw my post this morning, I got a couple of likes. Thanks, guys. And the post back actually came from watching that service. And Joel Osteen talked about, like, if people like have talked about you, done you wrong, or backbited against you, you know, told you mean things about yourself, or if you've experienced anything horrible in your life or anything that you feel like has set you back, don't let those things keep you from moving forward. Get over it. Somebody talked about you, get over it. Somebody hurt you, get over it. Somebody did you wrong, get over it. Because at the end of the day, you are hurting yourself, nobody else. Even if you think that you're hurting that person by not talking to them, by not wanting to pay them any mind, it's not hurting them because they don't care, obviously. So what I want to encourage you today is to tell you, you know, me, for example, a lot of you don't know, obviously, but a lot of you are my friends on Facebook, so a lot of you know a little bit about my story. And just to premise what I'm about to say, I know a couple of weeks back I actually posted something about me going on a journey, and I wanted to take you all on the journey. So this is the beginning of me going on this journey and inviting you all to come with me. I'm actually very nervous about talking about this, but I feel like now is the time for me to really open up and share my story. A lot of people know, a lot of people in my life that are close to me know my story and things like that. But now I feel like it's time for me to share it with the world, because I know that there are people out there that need to hear some of the things that I've experienced, because I know that my life is not about me, it's about other people. So yeah, so basically, so going back to getting over it, so some of you may know, some of you may not, but I was adopted when I was 6. And for a while, for a long time, especially as I got older, I struggled a lot with being adopted and, you know, feeling like, you know, my birth mom didn't care about me. You know, she didn't care to take care of her kids and all these things. Like, I had all these thoughts about her. And, you know, when I got to a place where I started to develop a relationship with her, I treated her very mean. Like, I was really mean to her, and I was really, like, you know, not nice sometimes, and you know, and it was because I was hurting, because I didn't understand why I couldn't grow up with her, why I had to go into foster care, why I had to be adopted. And I felt like my other siblings had an advantage because they were able to be with her because they didn't go into foster care. I was the only one that did. So I walked through during that whole time, like, I was angry at her. Like, I hated her. I didn't like her. You know, sometimes I would be nice, you know, but a lot of time, but I knew deep down inside I really didn't want to have a relationship with her because I was angry and because I was hurt. So even though I know that was hurting her in a way, it was hurting me, because I was holding myself back from really having a relationship with her and actually having an understanding of why things happened the way they did. So, fast forward, I had a child. My daughter now is 2 years old, And when I had my daughter, my mom was like really excited, and you know, she was happy to have a grandchild and all these things. And I was like, okay, you know, I was happy, she was happy, but I started to see how she reacted to her, and she really loves my daughter. Like, she really loves her. And that bothered me. That bothered me because I'm like, how could you love her more than you loved me, and you're acting like you should have acted with me, and if you're gonna go through these great lengths to do things for her, why didn't you do those things for me? So sometimes I wouldn't let her see her, or I would, like, you know, not want her to hold her all the time. Like, I would just do really dumb stuff. And you know, after a certain point, it got to a point where God really had to just show me, you are still holding on to unforgiveness. You are still holding on to something that happened. I'm 30 years old now. I was holding on to stuff that happened when I was a kid, a baby for that matter, you know? And at first I didn't care, and I still held on to it. But there was a point where I was really struggling, and I was really like sad, and my mom had called me one day, and we were talking, and I was giving her a really bad attitude. And she said something, and I just broke down. I was like, you don't understand. I'm really struggling right now. And I just really let her have it. And she said to me, Takima, I do understand, because I was in your situation. And she talked to me, and she said, you know, I had to deal with all those issues. She said, but I turned to something that didn't help me. She said, but you have God. And that's something that's important, and that's helping you manage through this. So you think that you're not strong, you're not. You are strong, and you are doing much better than I did. And when I tell you, the unforgiveness melted away, it almost felt like my heart was like, it was so hard, and then it just got so soft. And I share that story to say, when I let that go, when I finally heard her side, and when I finally understood how she felt and what she saw in me, I let that go. And guess what? Me and my mom, we don't have I think we have a good relationship, actually. Sometimes it's a little rocky, I'm not gonna lie, but our relationship is so much better because I let go, and she was able to accept it. So my point in telling that story is, when you are holding on to something somebody did, it's not holding you back. I mean, it's not holding them back. It's holding you back. Because after that, things started to change for me. And I started to feel better about my situation. Not because I had that talk with my mom, but because I let stuff go that she did years ago. And then the more I started to talk to her and understand what the situation was, I started to understand why things happened the way they did. You know, so I share that to say, you know, you never know why things happen the way they happen. You know, you never know why you may be in a situation that nobody else is in your family, but it may be something that God is wanting to use to bring somebody else out. You know, so that's why I really want to encourage you to just get over it. And whatever it is that you're dealing with, leave it in 2013. Don't take that into the new year. Please, I'm begging you. Seriously though, like 2014, I feel like is going to be one of the most amazing